When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
We really gotta stop like praise ya. Stop and praise the ancient of days. Teary-eyed and with a smiling face, the praise you gave was already ordained. Stop and praise for keeping you in your lane. Give a praise for breaking off them chains. Before you let somebody steal your praise, think about the spirit in which they came. Think about the energy they gave. Is it worth it? Nope, never, no way. Kingdom we broke into a praise dance. I praise Yah for D4 hug daps. Praise Yahweh for the congregation, and I praise him for the angels, the elders, and all their dedication. See this truth, it'll cut you, heal you, it'll make or break you. This is a spiritual walk, it's a spiritual ride. Just don't despise the chastisement when you get chastised. You a son, not a bastard, right? You gon' get chastised. It's a spiritual ride, just vibe. Yeah, just vibe. We gon' ride. All praises to the Most High.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
Mercy on you, mercy on me. They say the truth has set you free. See prophecy been fulfilled for real. Now what the deal? We giving praise to the God that is real. Cause it's real out here. People get killed out here. They robbing still out here. It's getting hard out here. The love of many wax cold from what I hear. But we backed by the Most High, so who shall you feel? You gotta be bold and righteous to live. The flesh is exceedingly wicked. Sin deceiving is vicious. Repentance needed to fix it. His mercy too exquisite to miss it. Just proceed to listen. Let's stick to the mission. Believe and receive his blessing. You see, blessings come from above. None of us deserve it. None of us is worthy. But we praise Yah for his mercy.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
We really gotta stop like praise Yah. Stop and praise the ancient of days. Teary-eyed and with a smiling face, the praise you gave was already ordained. Stop and praise for keeping you in your lane. Give a praise for breaking off them chains. Before you let somebody steal your praise, think about the spirit in which they came. Think about the energy they gave. Is it worth it? Nope, never, no way. Kingdom we broke into a praise dance. I praise Yah for D4 hug daps. Praise Yahweh for the congregation, and I praise him for the angels, the elders, and all their dedication. See this truth, it'll cut you, heal you, it'll make or break right, you gon' get chastised. It's a spiritual ride. Just vibe. Yeah, just vibe. We gon' ride. All praises to the Most High.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
Mercy, mercy on you, mercy, mercy on me. They say the truth has set you free. See prophecy been fulfilled for real. Now what the deal? We giving praise to the God of Yisrael, cause it's real out here. People get killed out here. They robbing still out here. It's getting hard out here. The love of many wax cold from what I hear. But we back by the Most High, so who shall you feel? You gotta be bold and righteous to live. The flesh is seething and wicked. Sin deceiving is vicious. Repentance needed to fix it. His mercy too exquisite to miss it. Just proceed to listen. Let's stick to the mission. Believe and receive his blessing. You see, blessings come from above. None of us deserve it. None of us is worthy. But we praise y'all for his mercy.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
We really gotta stop like praise, yeah. Stop and praise the ancient of days. Teary-eyed with a smiling face. The praise you gave was already ordained. Stop and praise for keeping you in your lane. Give a praise for breaking off them chains. Before you let somebody steal your praise, think about the spirit in which they came. Think about the energy they gave. Is it worth it? Nope, never, no way. Kingdom we broke into a praise dance. I praise y'all for D4 hug daps. Praise Yahweh for the congregation. And I praise him for the angels, the elders, and all their dedication. See this truth, it'll cut you, heal you, it'll make or break you. This is a spiritual walk, it's a spiritual ride. Just don't despise the chastisement when you get chastised. You a son, not a bastard, right? You gon' get chastised. It's a spiritual ride, just vibe. Yeah, just vibe. We gon' ride. All praises to the Most High.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
Mercy, mercy on you, mercy, mercy on me. They say the truth has set you free. See prophecy been fulfilled for real. Now what the deal? We giving praise to the God of Yisrael, cause it's real out here. People get killed out here. They robbing still out here. It's getting hard out here. The love of many proceed to listen. Let's stick to the mission. Believe and receive his blessing. You see, blessings come from above. None of us deserve it. None of us is worthy. But we praise y'all for his mercy.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya. Praise ya. Hey, praise ya.
Shalom Facebook, Shalom YouTube. Welcome to our prophecy class. Today we're in Isaiah chapter 52. But before we get started, does anyone have any questions? No questions? Okay, we're going to go ahead and look at, this is part of the prophecies that affects us immediately. So let's go ahead and get started.
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 1. Isaiah chapter 52, verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. For henceforth thou shalt no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. Shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. For thus saith Yahweh, you have sold yourselves for naught, and you shall be redeemed without money. But thus saith the Adonai Elohim, my people went down aforetime into Egypt to sojourn there, and the Assyrians oppressed them without cause. Now therefore, what have I here, saith Yahweh, that my people is taken away for naught? They that rule over them make them to howl, saith Yahweh, and my name continually every day is blasphemed. Therefore my people shall know my name, therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that does speak. Behold, it is I.
That's a very key verse, because what it's saying is that there's going to come a time when you won't even know Yahweh's name. So that pertains to us. We're just not finding out Yahweh's name, so it says, therefore my people shall know my name. So Yahweh has given us his name to know, and we are his people. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 7. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publishes peace, that bringeth good tidings of good, that publishes salvation, that saith unto Zion, thou Elohim reigneth.
Has this happened yet?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the gospel.
No, I said something about replay.
Shalom. We're in Isaiah chapter 52. This is the gospel,
Yeah.
right? Because it almost screaming out, this is the gospel. It says, how beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace, that bringeth good tidings of good, that publisheth salvation. It says unto Zion, thy Elohim reigneth. So again, That's already happened, and that came in the form of the Mashiach.
Yeah, I got down. Gospel of the Mashiach.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 8. Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice. With the voice together shall they sing, for they shall see eye to eye, when Yahweh shall bring again Zion. Break forth into joy, sing together, you waste places of Jerusalem. For Yahweh hath comforted his people, he hath redeemed Jerusalem. Yahweh hath made bare his holy arm in the eyes of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our Elohim.
Now, do you think our fathers understood what Isaiah was saying here at the time that he wrote this, or even a little after the time he wrote this? Because it says here in verse 10, Yahweh have made bare his holy arm in the eyes of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our Elohim. Isn't that the same description that the Mashiach gave when he told his disciples how he's going to be when he shows back up? So all the nations of the earth are going to see, all the tribes of the earth are going to see the Mashiach. So this is prophesying about his return. Yeah, go ahead, Brother Second.
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 11. Depart ye, go you out from thence, touch no unclean thing. Go you out of the midst of her, be you clean that bear the vessels of Yahweh. For you shall not go out with haste, nor go by flight, for Yahweh will go before you, and the Elohim of Israel will be your rear guard.
Well, that is opposed to when our fathers first came out of Egypt, they had to rush. But in this case, it says you should not go out by haste, nor go by flight. Now that flight doesn't mean flying. A lot of people look at that, oh, well, we're going to be on airplanes? I know airplanes at the time he wrote this, okay, so that's a translator's word, so it goes along with when it says you should not go out by flight, you should not go in haste. Same thing as I said before. But Yahweh will go before you, and the Elohim of Israel will be your rear guard. Now, did not our fathers have a cloud of a pillar of cloud and a pillar of fire out there in the wilderness with them? So we're going to have the same situation. It may not be the pillar of cloud, pillar of fire, but it says Yahweh's going to go before you, and the Elohim of Israel will be your rear guard. So we're going to be protected. Yahweh will, when we get on those boats. He's telling us, he says, depart ye, go you out from thence, touch no unclean thing, go you out of the midst of her. So what he's saying is that we're in captivity to someone else. He's telling us come out of her. Be you clean, that bear the vessels of Yahweh. So we got to make sure that our vessels are clean, that we're keeping the law, right? But you should not go out with haste, no go by flight, for Yahweh will go before you, and the Elohim will be your rear guard. So we won't have to be rushing out of here like our father did. So we still don't know how it's going to come to pass. No, we don't know when it's going to come to pass and how long it's going to take. But it says that it's going to happen. So this is what we call faith, that the word of Yahweh is true, and it's talking to a particular people that are not in their land. Right? He said, come out of her. And so we're the only people on earth that fit that description. We're not in our land, haven't been in our land for a long time. And so this is talking directly to us. So getting us spiritually prepared that something big is about to happen. We have to leave everything here except our backpacks. Just like our fathers. Only difference is we ain't going to have no cattle or sheep to bring with us. What's the point when you ain't going to have nothing to sacrifice? Now that's the reason they had so much cattle and sheep when they came out of Egypt, they weren't thinking about food. They were thinking about sacrificing. Remember when they murmured against Moshe that they didn't have no meat to eat? They had all their cattle out there and all their sheep out there, and they complained they ain't got no meat to eat. Because the cattle and sheep were for a special purpose. They're for sacrifices, not for hamburgers. Go ahead, brother.
So they were sacrificing while they was there and down in Egypt?
The Egyptians sacrificed to their gods, but it was a common thing to have a morning sacrifice and an evening sacrifice for the people. So it didn't necessarily have to do with their gods, but it was one of the standards of the day that no matter where you are, you make a sacrifice to a god.
So even our fathers doing sacrifices while they was down in Egypt?
Then what?
When they was down in Egypt, they was doing sacrifices?
Yeah, they were sacrifices.
But not to y'all.
Huh?
We weren't sacrificing to y'all.
No. They didn't even know Yahweh's name. Right? So Yahweh hadn't given them the law concerning sacrifices yet. So all that time that they staying in Egypt, they were just doing a routine thing, making a sacrifice.
How long after the Egyptians?
No, because again, you look at, for instance, Abraham. When Yahweh visited him, didn't Abraham build an altar to Yahweh to sacrifice? So it was just part of life to make a sacrifice to whatever God. Now I'm pretty sure when our father sacrificed, they sacrificed to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Didn't know his name, right? But that's who they sacrificed to.
I remember reading when it says, the part of the Lord says, don't be out there in the field sacrificing the devils. But you just answered the question, the part of the question I was going to ask, because like I say, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob would also to sacrifice, I guess, the El Shaddai. We don't know, but I guess some of our fathers got off when they was in Egypt because it says come out in the field sacrificing the devils. Somewhere, I can't remember something about sacrificing the devils. Maybe just sacrifice the devils or something.
That would be in Deuteronomy 32 in the Song of Moshe.
Right.
Yeah, that he was actually prophesying that you're going to leave Yahweh and go worship other gods. So they call them devils. Well, again, that's a translator's word.
Right.
But it could have just as well mean demons. Right. So like I said, it's a common thing for them to sacrifice, all people to sacrifice. So the reason they had those cattle, so many cattle out there, again, they were sacrificed to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yeah. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 13. Behold, my servant shall deal prudently, he shall be exalted and extolled and be very high. Many were astonished at thee, his visage was so marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of men. So shall he sprinkle many nations, the kings shall shut their mouths at him. For that which hath not been told them shall they see, and that which they have not heard shall they consider.
They're going to be surprised when they see the Mashiach. He will not be like they're used to seeing Christ. Right? So it says here at verse 14, as many were astonished at thee, his visage was so marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of men. So he's talking about the beating that he received at the hands of the Romans and the insult by his own people. So he had a physical effect on him. The man was beaten, cat of nine tails, and they put a purple robe on him, put a crown of thorns on his head, and then pierced him in the side. So yeah, he was marred more than most men. But again, that's Romans' way of capital punishment. Yeah.
Does the same things apply to the Gentiles too? Because like I say, the sin ignorance. Because they a lot of them so into this Christ in Jesus image, thinking it's the real thing. And you know, and some of that, I guess, good arts where we want to be help people. You know what I mean? You know, like with the what they call people that help us. When people try to help us from slavery, you know, and all these green earth people, animal savers, it's like people want to save us, slave, don't do this slave so bad. You know what I mean? They got the image and they of Jesus, but you know what I mean? It's the secret image apply to them because that's all they know, and they really try to keep this word, but that's all they know is for the Gentiles. I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
Does it apply to the Gentiles too?
Yeah, if you remember in Paul's letters to the Romans in chapter 2, for the Gentiles who have not the law do the things contained in the law, right? So the problem comes is when they do it in the name of another God. And so how will Yahweh judge that? Because what he's saying is that Gentiles know what's right and what's wrong. It's just part of the conscience. That's how they form government before we form the government. So they know the difference between right and wrong. And so they act on their traditions and their culture. But eventually it evolved into a religion. But the question remains, how will Yahweh judge them? Well, they may do good to their own people, but have they blessed Israel? Or have they cursed Israel? So if they cursed Israel, they cursed. Yeah.
But they blessed Israel in a different way.
Yeah.
So it was far from again, right?
Right. Now, what do you think moved Abraham Lincoln to sign the Emancipation Proclamation?
To stop union. It wasn't for us, it was for union.
Yeah, I know, but
It wasn't really for us, it was for union.
I know, but nevertheless, the impact
Right.
was that all the slaves were freed.
You got all the abolitionists too. That was the abolitionists.
Yeah, you had the abolitionists all over the place. But nevertheless, the end result is that Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation regardless of what he signed it for. He freed Yahweh's people, right? And promised them 40 acres and a mule. Yeah, I know, but they had assassinated him then.
Yeah.
And the next president, Andrew Johnson, said, well, we're going to take that back.
Yeah, they had started giving them land
Yeah.
and their things, but like I said, they reneged on their next president.
Yeah, well, it's the nature of the beast, right? So everybody's got an answer, but nevertheless, the question remains, how will Yahweh judge Abraham Lincoln? Did Abraham Lincoln bless Yahweh's people?
Yeah, he did.
By freeing them.
Yeah, right. But Paul even said in Romans, said you better have mercy on them, for they had mercy on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said that up in Romans.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that. Watch white people, the way they treat us, and I'm looking at the scripture that says, if you bless us, you're going to be blessed. But they worship another God. Now, I don't think Abraham Lincoln was a godly man.
No.
But nevertheless, he did something that no other president had done before. He freed the slaves for whatever reason, to win the war, whatever. But they never went back into slavery. Yeah.
Let me ask you something again. Now, when the Mashiach said about those people, and they said, when did we see you hungry and didn't feed you, and we saw you thirsty, and didn't give you drink, and naked and didn't clothe you? So that goes right along with that, right?
Yeah.
The Gentile. Because they, you know what, they call themselves trying to make amends. I think I heard you say about setting up little stuff in our neighborhoods, you know, YMCA and these little centers. They call themselves, they can't make enough amendments for what they did to our forefathers.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us $1 billion apiece, but yeah, it comes down like you said, who so blesses us, they're going to be blessed.
Yeah.
That's about all you can say about it.
Yeah. But they killed Abraham Lincoln for doing that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he was going against protocol. White folks always supposed to be the slave owners.
Mm-hmm.
Black people never both supposed to be freed. And he did something that no president done before. So you got to look at that. Now that's why I asked, what moved him? I know you say he did to win the war, but he couldn't have found some other way to win the war? Well-
they was in some trouble. You know, they was in some trouble.
Well, I blame Abraham Lincoln's military men for that, because they weren't the very best, and Robert E. Lee was one of the best. But I think I forgot the man's name, McCallum or something, McClellan. He wouldn't even go out and fight. He was a general, and Abraham Lincoln was waiting on him to go ahead and make that move. He never would make a move. So he had him replaced with Ulysses S. Grant, and that's who won the war. Yeah,
Let me ask you something. Yahweh moved him through that, right?
that's my point.
Yeah.
Yahweh had it set up so that Abraham Lincoln had no choice
Right.
if he wanted to win this war. So Yahweh set the whole thing up just for him to do what was necessary to win the war, and that was to free us, regardless of what he thought. It's what Yahweh ordained, that we should be free.
Let me ask you something, too. Now, on a small scale, could you compare Abraham Lincoln with Cyrus? Cyrus issued that decree that all the people that want to leave out of Babylon go back and build the temple wall, go back. So is it, do you see,
Him as a Messiah?
of sorts?
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, I know I asked you that and you told me a while back, now you can't.
not Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
No, that was the last minute result. Cyrus was preordained to let
Right.
the Israel go. Yeah.
So with the Christians that were abolitionists, that was always pushing for our freedom, they definitely should fall under that sin.
The abolitionists?
Yeah, they should fall under that sin, because they was pushing for our freedom and stop the abuse that we were going through. But you know, 'cause in Europe they was forced to become Christians. So a lot of Europeans under the Catholic Church, they was like, you can't be a Christian, you're gonna die. You know?
Yeah.
You know, so they were forced in that. You know what I mean? So they fall under that sin ignorance a little bit, or fully.
They worship their own God, but they enslave Yahweh's people, and they just fulfilled prophecy that Yahweh was going to disappear from them, and they're going to show His face to them, a favor to them. So He allowed that to happen to our people, all the negative things, just to see if these Christians meant what they said that they were Christians, and apparently they failed the test.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying about the abolitionists.
Now the abolitionists, they fought for the freedom of Yahweh's people. So, what would they? How would they be judged? I can't tell you that, but it sounds like it would be a positive thing, because overall you look at the fact that they fought, and they still fighting for black people that have been wrongly convicted in prison, been out there 20, 30 years, and get them off free. So you look at those type people there, and go back to what you were saying about Matthew 25, that He's going to gather the kingdoms together, the sheep on one side, the goat on the other, right? And He said, you visited me when I was in prison, you fed me when I was hungry, you clothed me when I was naked. And they say, well, when we see that? When you said, when you did it, at least to my brother, you did it unto me, right? So those people inherited the kingdom. So again, what He's saying is that Yahweh put the hurt on us, giving the nations an opportunity to show compassion and love towards His people. And Yahweh takes note of that. So they bless Yahweh's people, they get them out of prison, abolish slavery, to free Yahweh's people. I can see that as a positive. Yeah.
You know, Elder, but you made a comment a while back. You were saying those nations, even though they don't know who the God of Israel is, if they kept those last 6 commandments, they might receive salvation. But they didn't know who God, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was, right?
No.
So they kept that among themselves. Like you say, Gentiles are a law unto themselves. And plus they treated Yahweh's people, you know, justly. You're not going to, you know, they're not going to treat them like they do their own people. But not, you know, just abuse us.
Yeah, your abolition, I imagine, got to have a special place in the kingdom.
Okay.
All right, so all those people that risked their lives and fought for our freedom, Yahweh took note of that. But look how we act now. We free, but we're stupid.
Right.
But then why is that? Because the white folks still want to keep us slaves, but we'll be mental slaves, religious slaves. So they freed us because of the harshness of slavery, but we're still captive here in their country because of their power. Right.
But even though, like you said, they got mad with Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, you know, I Googled it up like y'all did. He's the greatest president in American history.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got George Washington for some reason right up under him. They got him all ranked. Donald Trump didn't even come in the top 10. He didn't show up.
Don't think he ain't gonna try.
I mean, we know who's doing that. They controlling the narrative.
Yeah.
That Abraham Lincoln, after all this time, he's the greatest president in American history.
Well, he kept the Union together.
Yeah.
And that was a humongous task. When you got the nation split apart, and you're trying to get them together, the only way you can get them together is to defeat one side.
Right.
Yeah, he had to bear that burden the rest of his life. We're looking at over 500,000 men that died fighting that Civil War. Right, so the Blue Coats won, the Union won,
Mm-hmm.
and the South lost.
Right.
Right, so that's why we're here. We could have still, the South could have won, and we still could have been slaves.
That's right.
And we wouldn't have these laptops in front of us. So, but this Yahweh will. All right, so what he's doing is bringing his people slowly out of that pain and sorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and bringing us up to this point where now we have hope. Our fathers didn't have the kind of hope we got. They were just glad to be free, glad to have a job, glad to have a family. So now we have a greater hope than they did, because we can see us leaving this place that our father worked to build, and we'll build our own place. And that'll be ours. See, I keep saying this over and over again. This is not your country. White folk built this bad boy.
That's right.
Right? They set up the government. You picked the plants and worked in the field. The white folks set the government up.
Mm-hmm.
And this is their land. That's what I keep telling y'all. You need your own land and start from scratch like they did. Now people say, well, you stole it from the Indians. No, we beat them. That's how you get land. You don't negotiate for land. You take it. Didn't our father take Canaan land? Well, that's how lands are conquered. You take it. Somebody got to lose. Somebody got to win. Somebody got to lose.
But Ella, overriding thing, everything you said, right on the spot. Yahweh gave his land to the
Yes.
Gentiles. He gave it to him.
Yes, for a special purpose.
Bring us over here.
Right,
People,
right.
you try to talk to people about that. I say, look, he couldn't have took it unless I just say God. God, you mean God would do something like that?
Yeah.
Well, he do what he want to.
Yeah, it's his earth. It's his world. And he do what he want to do with it. Then he read the book.
Yeah, they read the Bible, they understand it.
Yeah.
They read it, they understand it.
Well, they still mad about it. I'm sorry, white folk got the bad boy hooked up. I'm sorry. I can't see you Indians building skyscrapers or bridges along the lake. You'll go from one side to another. You ain't did that, and white folk did that.
And you know what?
They drew up the plans.
That's right.
It didn't work always. Sometimes the bridge will fall. But they'll come back and fix it again. That's one thing about white folk. They ain't scared of death. I find that fascinating. That they are not scared of death. That's why you see them handling snakes and all kinds of dangerous creatures. Yeah.
You look at Esau, that a white man was with, Yahweh was with these Gentiles. He's not with Esau. He's supposed to be the Jew, but he can't take his land from the Palestinians.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that had to happen too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the saints got to take the kingdom.
Right.
Yeah, man.
I was wondering about that, those who bless Israel shall be blessed. Does that apply for within Israel too?
That what now?
Does that apply for within Israel?
Within Israel, who's going to be saved?
No, I mean as far as Israel blessing Israel will be blessed. Or, Israel cursing Israel will be cursed.
Israel is already blessed by being Yahweh's people. It's those people outside of Israel
Okay.
that he said, he who blesses Israel shall be blessed, who curses Israel. Even Abraham. Abraham had that same saying, right? So Yahweh said, who curse Abraham shall be cursed, who bless Abraham shall be blessed. Talking about Abraham himself, right? Nobody else in the family. The same with us. So we are all with Abraham is Yahweh's servant. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and 12 tribes of Israel. So we're blessed to be his servants. We are his people. So Yahweh blessing us all the time. So as long as we keep the law, keep the commandments with each other, open your hand wide for the poor, so that Yahweh can bless you. Right? So we are blessed people that have a way to bless each other within the law. Yeah.
To go in more detail, the question you just asked, like with E5 and sexually and voodoo, all these witchcrafts that our people got into, when they actually put curses on each other, you know what I mean? Not knowing who we are, I guess, whatever. But they get cursed for cursing our people, but they put, we already got curses from Yahweh, but those witchcraft, demonic type curses that our people are practicing today on each other.
You mean like witchcraft,
like witchcraft,
voodoo?
Voodoo, like pretty much voodoo, like, and they say, I practice voodoo, and I put a curse on mother. I should be, you who curses Israel should be cursed. I will not let that person be cursed because they just, other than the curse that we already under, put the curse on somebody, because that's Israel.
What does the book of Proverbs say about that?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I know where you're going.
In Proverbs 26, in verse 2, look at what it says here. As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. Right? So they may curse you, but if it's not the cause to curse you, you're not going to be cursed. Now, also, when you're dealing with witchcraft, voodoo, and hoodoo, you got to believe in that yourself for it to work. Right? So they can put a hex on you and have you walking backwards, and you trying to walk forward. That's because you believe it. Right? So you might have been brought up in that environment, so that's part of second nature, that there are some people that work hexes on people. And you believe it because that's part of your background. But as far as grown people are concerned, they don't take that seriously. Well, I mean, they had to be in it for a while and grown up in it. But people like you and I, at least I
pray, and I keep the commandments, so I'm just not going to
I'm just checking.
Just grown folk that really believe it.
You never know. You never know. People maybe secretly believe in that stuff. Yeah.
Like Noah's boys, how they was already, they had that blessing. Would it be like the same with that? Like, because you're already blessed.
Right.
You can't curse something that Yahweh already blessed.
Right. That's
so
why.
We couldn't curse each other anyway.
Right.
Unless you, like you just said, believing in that, basically believing in Satan and that witchcraft stuff.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But just like we read in our law, where we have people that practice magic and witchcraft, well, that's Satan. That's why Yahweh said you got to kill a witch. You can't allow her to live among you, because you're bringing Satan up into the camp. Yeah. Now you're giving glory to a witch instead of Yahweh. Yeah. So yeah, that was big no-no, sorcery, necromancy, and all those types of things that are not of Yahweh. But they practiced them back in those days. Yeah.
So we in the wilderness, and all them types of people come out there in the wilderness, do we leave that to the angels, or do we have that judgment?
No, it can be.
Out there. There's a lot of them.
I know, but we're not going to be judging them. All right, because when the last time one of y'all killed somebody? See what I'm saying? You don't know what it's like to kill anybody. At least I don't know. Maybe y'all do. But nevertheless, that judgment is going to be on them angels. Yeah, so they could try that if they like, but the angels going to take care of them. Yeah. Let's go ahead and finish this up, Brother Stephen.
Isaiah chapter 53, verse 1. Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of Yahweh revealed?
Well, didn't we just read that in the previous chapter? It says, verse 10, chapter 52, verse 10, Yahweh hath made bare his holy arm in the eyes of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our Elohim. And then down here in 53 and 1, and who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of Yahweh revealed. So the two chapters complement each other, but they're talking about two different timelines. This is the beginning of the Mashiach's timeline when he began his ministry, and this up in chapter 52 in verse 10 is when he returns. So our father did not believe in the Mashiach. I mean, he had some followers, but as a whole, the Mashiach had done his job, and so there was no need for the Jews to stay in the land for Yahweh was concerned, so he got them kicked out the land. But the message that the Mashiach left and the message that the apostles left, those were all recorded. But it wasn't recorded for our sakes. It was recorded for white folks' sake, because we got the most fascinating story in history. They've never read a book like this, the way this book is written. They were amazed at it, so much so that they want to be in it. I don't blame them. We got a very beautiful story here. A story of destruction and rebuilding. Casting away, then bringing back home. Right? You got both of them. Most of the prophets, you got Yahweh angry with his people, but then in the same chapter, he'll say, I still love you. I'm going to bring you back home. What other kind of book is written like this? And they tried to hide it, and they still hide it from Yahweh's people by letting them practice Christianity. But now Yahweh is revealing things to us. Here he says, who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of Yahweh revealed? He's been revealed to us. We got his name. We got his history. You know more about the Messiah than white folks ever will. Because if they knew what you knew, then they know this was meant for them. But you got to hand it to them. They do try. Black folks don't try at all. So here we are. This book is about Yahweh and his people. That's all. Ain't got nothing to do with anything else. But yet and still Texas just passed a law that they're going to teach the Bible in public schools. Have y'all heard this? Yeah. They passed a law. I'm pretty sure it's going to be challenged. But nevertheless, they see the value of our story. So what now?
It's down in Texas where they're supposed to be starting all off.
Yeah. Yes, in Texas. Yeah. So the Texans see something wrong. And they remember the Bible used to be in all the public schools. You didn't have what you have today. You got mass shootings, homosexuality, Islam. They're teaching Texas children Islam. So that's why they passed that law to teach the Bible in public schools. But who's going to teach it? One of my deacons? No, they can't teach it because it's not talking about them. They can only teach so much of it, like the morality laws. Like you can teach that, but anything else, it's not for them. So yeah, they can teach it. They teach the book. They ain't really been taught the book at all. They've been practicing Christianity. So now they're going to have someone that knows how to teach the Bible. And they're not looking our direction. Now y'all stay in Atlanta. We find somebody in Texas. Go ahead, Brother Seven. Read that verse again.
Isaiah chapter 53, verse 1. Who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of Yahweh revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him.
Well, that can't be Jesus. Jesus, him good-looking man. Trim beard, nice clothes, clean clothes. Always got a little slight smile on his face. Got a lamb in his hand. Yeah? Long hair. Yeah, so that ain't him. I'm sorry, that don't fit him. He says, it said, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He's ugly. You can't go out looking for no women with him. He will run them off. But that's just to show that there's not anything about him physically that you're going to find attractive. It's what he's bringing to the table. And that's how this starts off. To let you know that he's not like anybody else. He's ugly. But that's how I want him to be. Ugly. Right? So you don't look at his outside. You look at what he's saying. And look at what he's doing. You can't, like that old saying, you can't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, so they see Jesus and say, oh, I got to follow him. And white folk made him up. They look like white folks. Ain't that something? But then they come from paganism, worshiping many gods. So they got to have a God they can see. So Yahweh isn't like that. That's the beautiful thing about this whole story. He's nothing like the rest of the gods. It seems so elementary to us now because he's shown us so much that you can't see him, so you don't make an image of anything, right? Because it'll be in competition with him. Because you can't see me. What you doing seeing a God that can't breathe, can't hear, can't see? And I'm the living God. I see, I hear, and I know what your thoughts are. So the thing is, we're unique among all the nations of the earth, especially here in America, that we know we can't see our God, but we got his words. He left us that. We can see these words. The thing is, you can't understand these words unless he wants you to understand them. So we can make the connection between the words that are written and us. Now we see us in the picture. Go ahead, Brother Stephen. Read that verse again.
Isaiah chapter 53, verse 1. Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of Yahweh revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He has no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him.
Mm-hmm.
He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not.
Now we got the gospel of the baddest all out. But you still got some brothers out there that say that this is not the Messiah, this is Israel. I don't know how they came to that conclusion, because it says here, he is despised. I guess they say that that's Israel. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we, who is this we? Here as it were our faces from him, he was despised, and we esteemed him not. Well, if he's Israel, well, who is this we? Who are those people? You see what I'm saying? So this we is actually Israel. And him, he is the Mashiach. It's simple for us, but there's some brothers out there that say, no, that's Israel they're talking about there. I don't see it. Because that making that Israel that is despised, and we are despised. So they put that with Israel as us. But I don't see who they say that who hid the faces from him.
Well, they're saying he have no form, nor comeliness. All Yahweh's people are not it.
Right.
See, I don't know where they're coming from with all that.
I don't know neither, but that's what they believe. They believe that it's talking about Israel and not the Mashiach. White folk can pick up on this and talk about the Mashiach. But some of them Hebrew brothers, they ain't buying it. So they just make up their own theory of who this person is. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Brother Shepard.
Isaiah chapter 53, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of Elohim, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and Yahweh have laid on him the iniquity of us all.
Who is this us again? I'd like to ask him. Who is this us? Yes.
Yahshua.
Huh?
Yahshua.
What'd she say?
Said Yahshua.
No. This is rhetorical.
Oh.
All right. Because I'm still going back to some of them brothers that say that that's Israel that's been punished. All right. So that's why I put the question out there. Well, who is us? So if that's Israel, who are these people talking about this? Because whoever they are, they're looking at Israel, going through all these changes. The question is, who are those people? Who are those people that's looking at him? Is it the nations? If our story hadn't been preserved by Yahweh, the nation would never heard of the children of Israel. We would have slipped through history. Well, we did slip through history up until recently. But nevertheless, Christians don't take the covenants that Yahweh made with his people seriously, because they don't see Israel no more. Yahweh just made us disappear. All of a sudden, here we are again. Yeah. Then come to find out, Israel is in Africa too. So those are other things that were hidden from us. But now we got this technology here. They see us as we see them. That couldn't have happened 100 years ago. So there's a time and place for everything. So what the white folks or whoever made this technology did it so for us, so that we could see that this book is true. Everything that we read about it is true. This is the word of Yahweh. And so again, it's talking about his people, him and his people. But it's not talking about Christianity. I keep asking people, which one of the disciples called themselves a Christian? They can't tell me. So again, it's just a religion they practice, and that religion doesn't necessarily have to be true. There's no such thing as a truthful religion. The terminology doesn't even add up. A truthful religion. Religions change with generations. So one generation say this is true, then the next generation says no, it's not true. That's the nature of religion. But this truth here has never changed. It's always been like this for hundreds of years. And Yahweh just now opening up the book to us. Well, I'm looking at, for instance, the last time Yahweh talked with man, not after the flood, but before the flood, he talked to Cain. Right? So I'm going to put a mark on you so anybody see you won't kill you. But it was several generations before Yahweh spoke again. He spoke to Noah. And after the flood, there was an absence again of him speaking until he got to Abram. Now he's speaking again. So what you're saying there is that time and space mean nothing to Yahweh. So people come and people go, people come, people go, but there's a certain generation that he's going to speak to at a certain time. But we gotta be born, we gotta die, we gotta be born, gotta die. All these generations had to go before Yahweh spoke to Abram. And then he spoke to Abram's son, Isaac, and then he spoke to Yaakov. Then lastly he spoke to the children of Israel. Right? But we haven't heard his voice since our fathers came out of, when our father dwelt in Judea, and Yahweh, in John chapter 12, it says that they heard a thunder, but the Mashiach said that was Yahweh. But that's the last time we heard from him. So now we hear from him now. Nearly 2,000 years later, now we hear him. That's an amazing thing. Because we can go around telling people, hey, we can hear our God talking. You know that, don't you? They can look at you like, yeah, right.
These prophets, looking at how Isaiah wrote this down. Now, the spirit that moving to write it. They didn't always understand what they was writing, right?
Being prophets, they could see the things that regular people couldn't see.
Okay.
Like, for instance, when you go up into Hebrews chapter 11, when Moshe went up to the mountain, he saw the trials and tribulation of the Mashiach himself. And so, we looking at these prophecies, they prophesied Yahweh's vision of the future. Now, did they understand the vision? I believe they did. Because they could see the reason the vision being shown to them because of the wickedness of the children of Israel. And show the end result of that wickedness. He's going to let them know that just like he prophesied about Cyrus, 200 years before it even came to pass. Now he's talking about the Mashiach, hundreds of years before it came to pass. So they, being prophets, they knew the parameters of Yahweh. They knew there was no time with Yahweh. So they believed if Yahweh said it, it's going to go down.
Right.
They just didn't have the time, the date, and the time of the day. But it's going to happen. That's why they had it wrote down.
He understands that
he understood what he was looking at.
Okay.
Yeah. All them prophets knew certain things. And that because they were prophets, they're going to be raised back up. They got eternal life already guaranteed. Look at Daniel. Right? Daniel, Yahweh said, you're going to go and die in your resting place. Yahweh love you and he's going to bring you back up. I'm paraphrasing. But the prophets knew that they would be raised back up again. Job knew about the resurrection. So it was common knowledge about the people in that part of the world, but not with the Gentiles. He knew what he's talking about here. Yeah. Because not only was he's writing down what Yahweh told him to write down, but he can see it himself. Yeah. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Isaiah chapter 53, verse 7. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased Yahweh to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of Yahweh shall prosper in his hand. He shall see of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquity. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors, And he bare the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors.
I mean, that's all bared out in the Gospels and the epistles. So I don't understand how they can say that's not in the Shiach. God was with him, and then when he was crucified, he left him. He said, my God, why have you forsaken me? But see, that goes to another thing that they put out there, that JC was God. Well, what was he talking about when he said, my God, why are you forsaking me? Did he stop being a God at that time? So he can turn that thing on and off? Is that the way that thing works? It'd be God for a while, then he'll turn it off. But God will leave him hanging on the tree. How can he be God and he dead? See what I'm saying? But Psalm 45 says, I have anointed you with all the gladness above thy fellows. Therefore God, your God, has anointed you, I'm saying it back, but has anointed you with all the gladness above thy fellows. So, God, it's what it's saying is God has a God. So, if God has a God, then that God is greater than this God. So how are you going to just choose the lesser God above the greater God that made him a God? Yeah.
I was looking at verse 9 when it says he had done no violence. I mean, all that stuff that was done, he never threw a punch, nothing.
Nope.
Just all that stuff, just nothing.
Nope. No, they slapped him. He didn't slap back. They beat him. He didn't cuss nobody out. So he just took it.
That's the spirit that was upon him had to refrain that flesh from him.
Yeah, I think that spirit was unlike any other spirit that the prophets had.
Yeah.
And that he had let it slip sometime and let them know, I'm from above, you from beneath. He let it slip out that right there. And they looked at him like, hey, this Joseph boy? Don't we know his sisters? Right? So, but they didn't understand what he was saying either. But nevertheless, Yahweh had that son. That had to be fulfilled just because of what we got here. That had to be fulfilled, and it was fulfilled. So if that was fulfilled, then the rest of the prophecy will be fulfilled too. So some things ain't come to pass yet. Especially that part where we go back home. Yeah, the rest of that stuff is true, then that's going to be true too. That's where your faith got to come in. Y'all ain't going to tell you what time of day it's going to be. As long as we got this internet, everybody we listening. Can you imagine? I mean, you know what happened when a bunch of Jake get together? Somebody going to get shot. So y'all are keeping that secret right now. He's not telling us that right now, so he can just get us out of here first. They ain't gonna pay no attention to a bunch of people just walking down the road. Yeah, that's some more crazy folk right there. Don't mess with them. And they still getting on the boats. There ain't gonna be that many getting on the boats. Then the word gonna get out. Hey, it's time to go. And we already gone, man. Yeah. And we did not leave in haste. And we did not leave by flight. So we're looking at the people that's gonna be in the kingdom of heaven. She's gonna take care of them people. Yeah.
Like when it says children of Israel should go crying and weeping, acting the way to Zion. That's like getting off the boats and trying to get to the.
Well, we're looking at how is this all going to play out, right? So when you look up in Jeremiah, and they asking the way to Zion, well, why don't they already know? It's because they haven't been there in a long time. Now they want to know, well, where is it now? And you know what people are saying? They're saying Zion is here in America. Say the Nile River is the Mississippi River. You've heard it. Yeah, man.
Us not leaving in haste and taking our time to get out of here. It seems like we'll just pack up and pack up stuff and not leaving in haste. Like, we left overnight, so it won't take so much. Let's not leave in haste and not by flight. We have time to pack up and get stuff together. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like we should pack up and take. You know what I mean?
Well, I wouldn't be bringing suitcases of stuff, man. I mean, you still got to get off the boat and walk.
Right.
Suitcases get heavy after a while, so it's best to wear a little backpack with your book in it, for number one, and whatever else you need. So you got to travel light. We got a long way to go. It ain't like it was when our father first came into Egypt and came out of Egypt. But we got to go through Africa, and then go somehow to find a way to get to the wilderness. Yeah.
Do you think at the time of our departure when we leave here that at that time the world will know who we are? As we leaving, like we leaving, the world know who we are, and like I say, part of that we get, so them Gentiles that already know who we are, they'll help us in our travels a little bit, and in Africa they know who we are, they'll help us like at that time you think people know, okay, these are the children of Israel, and then they going back home, but we gotta take a stop in the wilderness. You know what I mean? You think that the world, these parts of the world, we all know who we are, but it'd be like, okay, these are the children when we get ready to leave.
Yeah, you're talking about at the point of our departure.
Right.
People are going to say, but then everybody got to get out of here. It's not just us. So we'll just be part of the crowd. Now, they're not going to look at us as somebody special. They're going to be looking at us as us getting out of here just like them.
Right.
Right. So they ain't going to look at us like, hey, them the children of Israel. No, they on the boat with them bags too, them suitcases. Yeah, they're going back to Europe. Right, so we're going to get on our boat, and they're going to see us the same thing, but we're going to be headed in another direction.
It's going to be a slow process, right?
Yeah.
I think you always taught us, according to the book of Daniel, we got 105 days, everybody clear out.
Yeah.
Dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got some Hebrews saying, I talked to a brother the other day, he's saying, when we leave here, they're going to bless us and give us stuff. I said, no, they're not. I said, y'all, them reparations, I said, man, y'all about to quit this thing. Dreaming, they're not going to give us anything.
Yeah.
They taking their stuff with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, that when he was out, I did a class on Saturday night. I think I went to Isaiah 60. When they bring the gold and silver, I say that's when you're going to get your reparation. That's not really reparation. That's stuff that Yahweh took from us and gave to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, brother saying, well, they're going to get gold and silver when we leave. What we going to do with it?
Right. Right. So when we get settled in the land, that's when people are going to start bringing gold and silver to us.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the gold that they took out of our temple and the silver and all that stuff, that's coming back to us. So, as a matter of fact, we're going to be lending to them. Like we're supposed to do in the first place.
That's hard to imagine.
Yeah, no, but we're going to be, y'all will have taken that rebuke off of us. So that the nation hate us, didn't trust us. This time around, it's going to be a 180. They're going to love us and trust us, and they're going to look at us as experts in stuff. Not like we do. We look at white folks as experts in things. No, they're going to look at us as experts in things. So they're going to see us rebuild our country, rebuild Jerusalem, and build that temple. And they're going to marvel at us actually doing it. So we didn't act like that here.
So when we go in the wilderness and that whole process, Yahweh gonna give us the understanding of it. When you gonna get the expertise from it? I don't know how to kill nothing.
You don't know how to kill nothing?
I don't know how to kill nothing. So where we gonna get that expertise from? Like he gonna just give it to you, like you just gonna, kind of like, I don't know, he's just gonna give some knowledge, give like to do these things.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Now, when the children of Israel came out of Egypt and dwelt in the wilderness, they sent spies into the land to spy out the land that they were supposed to possess. They came back. Joshua and Caleb had a different spirit, but the rest of them brought an evil report against the land as if Yahweh couldn't give us the land. Well, he told them, well, you're going to be out here for 40 years now. By the end of that 40 years, they were ready to take the land. So I'm looking at the same situation here. And when we're in that wilderness for 3.5 years, we're going to go in one way and come out another way. Because we're going to see some things like our father saw. They saw our father saw people dropping dead. Right? So we're going to see the same thing. That's going to change our mind. That say, yeah, this thing real. We got to be real about this. So we're talking about killing people. Now, we don't know what the weapons of warfare we're going to have, though, do we? Because you can't have them Glocks out there in the wilderness with Jake. you lose half your people. So we're going to be unarmed out there in the wilderness. But we're going to somehow get along. Now, we're going to have a lot of things, we're going to see a lot of things that are going to really mess with our minds, like all these people dying right before our eyes. That's going to do something to the psyche of the people that are watching this, because you seeing all this death around you. All these people, some of the people that's well known, stars, all of them dead. And you watching them. So that'll do something to a man to change his ways of thinking that this time, this thing is real. And as far as arms are concerned, well, we're about to read here. The no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
But the ability to be able, like to say, rebuild a country and start an economy, I know our government is going to be based off the Torah, but just rebuilding infrastructure and all that type of stuff, when are you going to get that knowledge? He's going to give us that knowledge to be able to rebuild and be able to, like, how do you, like the process of me loaning you some money and be able to get this, that whole process, you know what I mean?
Okay. Now, you're going to have land, right? That's money right there. And as far as what we're going to be doing, what were our fathers when they came out of Egypt? They were farmers and herdsmen, right? So we don't know anything about farming, but nevertheless, that is how government is set up economically, because you're going to be buying and selling, right? So you got to have some place to negotiate the deal. So you got the Torah on how you're supposed to negotiate. So we're going to form the government. The government would already be formed because the priests will be head of the government as far as the government is concerned, because they teach the law and they administer the judgment, right? So we're talking about the heads of government. Now, will the priests know what to do? Because the priests don't even know they preach right now. So what we're doing now is reading the things of the priesthood in the law book now, like in Leviticus. Let's talk about the things that the priest is supposed to be about. Now, again, it's not only going to be the Aaronic priesthood, but it's going to be the Melchizedek priesthood. So what is that all about? But that will be part of your government. That will be part of how you keep secure your borders. And you're not going to have those people out there that don't know how to get along with nobody. They're going to be ones, hey man, let's get together, let's talk about this thing. How are we going to set this thing up? Right? So, as far as setting a government, we can't do that now. We too loose and out of control. Right? And we can't focus because we're too emotionally unbalanced. So those that enter into that kingdom, those are the ones going to be Yahweh chose to be righteous. And that Yahweh would call the meek of the earth. So they'll be in that kingdom. So as far as turmoil and arguing and all that stuff, the meek don't argue about nothing. So they'll be able to get along. Now that'll be a strange thing to see black people getting along, because they don't get along now. But you got them curses on us, and you got too many spirits out there, so they can't get along. But those that can get along, those will be the one that's gonna be in that kingdom. Ain't gonna be out there being loud and cussing people out. You ain't gonna have that. You're gonna be just regular people that know the law and are familiar with the responsibilities of the priest and everybody else around them. So we look to them to know what direction the people ought to go in, to remind them to keep the commandment, keep the holy days. So that will be a gathering period, so we can reacquaint one another with each other. So all those things, the holy days that we celebrate, that's to keep in touch with each other. And so we'll know how each other are doing. That's part of government. So, but the government itself is going to be a theocracy. So, as far as planning things is concerned, we can't do too much planning until the Mashiach shows back up. And he's going to be king, right? So he's going to tell people, I want you to do this and I want you to do that. You follow his instructions. So he knows more about it than us. Like we said, we can't get along with each other. We can't form a government. We got too many jealousies among us. But when the King of Kings sits on the throne, you're going to pay attention. And you're going to do what he tells you to do. Because he's going to be ruling with a rod of iron. The iron don't break. Yeah.
That's a good point, because this government system that we have in place now, not even just here in the world, you got a Senate, House, judicial system, court system, you know, governor, mayor. Well, that is patterned after Rome.
Right.
He used to say that.
Right.
So with the Mashiach, like you said, he's going to sit up there.
Right.
And he's going to say, hey, you just do this.
Right.
And you do that. It ain't going to be, I got to go to Congress to get something done. Or I got to go to the Senate. No, I'm going to get it done. I'm just telling you to do this.
Right.
So
Ain't no arguing with him either.
So we ain't going to have to worry about setting up a government per se.
No.
We got to do what we told.
All we got to do is do what he tells us to do.
Yeah, I see it.
He knows more than we do. Right? That's his kingdom, and he's been ordained to rule not only his kingdom, but all the kingdoms of the earth. So that gives you something to do. But as far as the government is concerned, yeah, he is the government. The king is always the government. Whatever he says goes. So that's, you got to look at it that way. Because, yeah, we can come out the wilderness, but Mashiach ain't going to show up right then and there. But he'll show up a little while later after those armies come up against us. Now, we'll have some leadership when we go and take that kingdom. But I'm looking at the circumstances as to why all those armies are coming up to Jerusalem. It can only mean one thing. When you go up into Daniel chapter 11, that king is going to flee to the holy mountain. He's going to hide out there, and we're going to be there. That's what's going to bring all those armies up to Jerusalem to come rescue their king. Right? So I'm looking at another timeline here about the temple that king is supposed to be in. Now, when he flees to that temple, that's when Lucifer or Satan gonna get in him. And he's gonna be, now the 3.5 years of great tribulation, that's gonna be on that one world order. And once that's destroyed after 3.5 years, the king will still be alive. And we'll be in our land, but the one world order, though destroyed, will still be in effect. Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, so we come out the wilderness, we take the kingdom back, how would we do it? But we must have to have some type of weaponry or something, because when all the nations come up and you have to fight in that day, them nations gonna have the weapons that they create now, all the money they spend for weapons now, you know what type of weaponry. So,
Cutting edge technology too.
Yeah, so we gonna have some type of, on our side too, for Judah to fight in that day, for us to, go against these nations, you know what I mean? Some type of weaponry, because we just took the kingdom back, so we gotta have something to be able to fight them nations, because they come with weaponry, so we have some type of weapon, right? At that time, when we fight those nations, you know what I mean? We have some type of weapon to fight them with, right?
Well, when the children of Israel came out of Egypt, they went through the Red Sea, right? On dry ground. Now, when the Egyptians tried to run at them, the wheels got stuck in the mud. They had all the military stuff they needed, but it didn't work. So I'm looking at that as symptomatic of what we're going to be facing. That they may have cutting-edge technology and weaponry, but what makes you think it's going to work? So we may be down to bare fish, but nevertheless, that technology depends on power, electricity. Well, what if that's cut? Now you're on a more even playing field. Yeah. So all you gotta do now is ball your fish up, or pick up a rock. Yeah. So yeah, all that weaponry, you ain't gotta worry about that.
It's gonna be all about the angels?
Well, were the angels with our fathers when they came out the wilderness? No, well, up until they took the land, let me put it that way.
Okay.
You know, they were with our fathers when they took the land. But after they took the land, were they with our fathers? No. Because they had started intermarrying with the Canaanites. In Judges chapter 3, when they started worshiping the gods of these other nations, angels couldn't have been out that way. They may have talked about them, but as for fighting their battles, the angels didn't fight their battles after that. The angels were there to take the land. So we can look at the same situation, that the angels going to be there to take that land. Yeah, that's why I say a lot of things can happen. Like they might not even have any power to use those weapons. And I'm looking at what's mine? I got snot in my nose, my mouth.
Yeah, I know you're looking at the screen.
I can't see it on the screen.
Yeah, you good.
Is it gone? Is it gone?
I don't know what you said.
Yeah, it was just on that side. You got it.
Okay. All this time I've been looking nasty all over the world, bro. Everybody on earth saw me. They ain't going up at a church. This man look nasty. The rest of them must be nasty too. I'm glad you noticed, man, because them brothers ain't gonna say nothing to me.
What's that? Thought it last time. Yeah.
He didn't say nothing.
I didn't see that.
See,
You said I didn't see that.
that's the response of a slave to the white man. What you see? I didn't see nothing, master.
The slave was smart. That's why we still here.
That's why you're still here.
And slave know how to play dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, brother Stephen. Let's go ahead and wrap this up.
The angels depart from us is because we're not staying with the commandments and laws, right? Is that what it is? We stop doing what we're supposed to be doing and start doing the things that the other people are doing, we're doing, or chasing after what they're doing.
What are you talking about, before or now?
No, after. I'm talking about before. Well, going through the coming out of Egypt. But I'm talking about in the future when we go to come back to take our land up. As long as we stay with those commandments and laws, we're gonna have those angels. When we turn away from all that, that's when the angels are gonna step back.
Well, we're not going to be doing that. The people that are going to be in that kingdom are chosen people. And they know not, they got the story right here of what happened when we stray away from Yahweh, worship other God. That make Yahweh mad. We don't want to make Yahweh mad. That's the lesson we're learning here.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as worshiping other God, we're not going to be doing that. And besides that, when Mashiach shows back up, all the rest of the nation got to give up their gods. All the statues and the images that they make. So they can't worship other gods. So there's no fear in us worshiping their gods, because they're all going to be destroyed.
Yeah, but when you start intermarrying, alright, when you start going with other nations as far as marrying their women and we allow them to marry our women, then what happens?
Well, again,
Gave up the commandments.
the people that are going to be in that kingdom will fear Yahweh and keep His commandments, so that they'll know not to intermarry with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So our father didn't take that seriously. It was part of Moshe's law. You marry within your tribe, right? So we're not going to have those issues because we read about them and how much trouble they were back in those days. So we'll know better than to marry someone outside of our people. And we ain't going to do the same mistake. I make the same mistakes our father made, right? So marrying outside our people, nah. Now, the people that have married our people, outside our people, they have to go with their husband to whatever land he goes to, right? And them children that they have, they're going to be Gentile children, because that's the way the seed works. So the wife has to follow the husband.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it mean, though, when a Gentile marries a brother? She had to go back to her land too, until all this is over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have to separate. We're talking about that 3.5 years.
Right.
All right. Now, after the 3.5 years, they may come back together, but their children will have to marry an Israelite person. They can't go to the mother side of the family. They'll stay on the father side of the family. Right. Even though they're different colors, they're gonna have 1,000 years to get back right. Yeah. Think so?
No, like, I understand the second angels going to be with us and we take the kingdom back. But when it says Jesus shall fight in that day, with the angels back and so okay, y'all on your own because this is y'all fight because it's y'all day to fight. So the angels they won't be with us on Judah have to fight in that day. They'll be there, but they won't be like really assisting because it's our fight now. We have to, you know what I mean? When it says Judah shall fight in that day.
Yeah, we're gonna fight in that day, but Yahweh's gonna be on our side. You remember when David fought against Moab and Ammon and Mount Seir? Yahweh had turned them against each other. Now that wasn't David, it was Jehoshaphat. Yahweh had turned them against each other, so they fought amongst themselves. The same thing you got in Zechariah chapter 14. They're going to turn against each other. And then when you say that the eyes going to sink in their heads, well, that's Yahweh doing that, putting a plague on them. So it's not necessarily the angels, but Yahweh himself putting the plague on them. Like, yeah, man.
In the beginning of that 3.5 years, like I say, it's illegal to intermarry. It's illegal to marry another tribe. Right? So you from Judah, you can't marry nobody from Simeon. So well, we would have to know then what tribe we're from at the start of the 3.5 years then, huh? So you're not.
Well, you got to know it by the time you come out.
Well, what if because people will still be having, you got 3.5 years, people will still be having babies and stuff.
They'll probably already be married.
You don't think there'll be no marrying going on in the wilderness when you get married?
Well,
What
the Mashiach said, the Mashiach said, whom Yahweh put together, let no man put asunder. Right? So they're married. If they marry and find out one of them from another tribe, well, the husband, the head of that family, so he inherits that his wife's inheritance. This is not supposed to be that way. But Yahweh put them together, right? And they got children. So it belonged to the man, the inheritance of the wife. Even though she might be a Benjamite and he might be a Judite. Whatever she makes, got to come to his side of the family. But that, again, Yahweh allowed that.
So if he married if a Judite married a Benjamite in the wilderness going 3.5 years, and they both born, she's not going to be a Judite.
Now, what makes you think that they're going to be getting married in the wilderness? It's not. Well, I know that, but nevertheless, you're not going to be out there that long. Now, if you're going to be out there 40 years, yeah, you got to be married. You can't stop yourself. But nevertheless,
you can't stop yourself.
Hey, I'm looking at the flesh, man.
Yeah, I know you're going to read
Yeah. I can't see us getting married out there in that wilderness because of the situation we're going to be in.
That's true.
Right? Because it's not going to be ordinary times that we can relax and consider marrying someone. Because they may not even be around at the end of the 3.5 years. Yeah, so those are all possibilities. But you're going to have those angels giving us instructions anyway. Right? So if one of them married another one, the angel going to say, yeah, you can't marry her. She's a Benjamite, you're a Judite. I am? Finally. So the tribal identification going to happen out there in that wilderness. We're going to know who belongs where. So we'll know not to look upon another tribe and covered what they got. Now, at what point we're going to realize where we are, I can't tell you that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just about to ask you, when this story you said, like, when Isaiah kicks in, with the 7 room, whatever, what part of that process in the wilderness did that take place with this?
It's not going to be in the wilderness. No, you're going to be in your land when that happens.
Okay.
Yeah, so, because you ain't going to have time, 7 women ain't going to have time to be going up to one man, because they're going to be fighting amongst each other. So they're going to come maybe one day, and then another next day, and so forth and so on. But the land will be at peace at that time. And since you'll be living much longer, that's not saying that 7 women going to come up to you in 1 week. 7 women may come up to over 50 years.
Yeah.
Because maybe your wife hadn't been born yet. So I'm looking at that for anybody that's single. You got to get married right away. She probably has not been born yet.
So I'm kind of going with brother Hillel. Now, there's going to be some trying times in that wilderness, but you got them folks out there 18, 19, 20, 21, and you got to look at sex drive and looking at stuff. What do you think going to happen with that deal? I mean, like you said, there's going to be angels out there, and we're going to be restrained, but then you got that little young group, and y'all ain't going to have no fornication among these people, right?
No.
So, I'm like, can a young man hold himself like a young woman?
They may not have no choice.
Okay.
Because if they do, they could die.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't want to be dying out there in the wilderness.
And then on top of all that, they're being trained or taught the correct way as far as living is concerned. Because the parents are giving them the correct instruction.
Yeah, well, they still got to keep the law, teach the law out there in that wilderness. Right? So that'll take up a little of that time. And the moral laws and everything like that. And keep in mind also that during that whole 3.5 year period, people are going to be dying.
Yeah, that'd be part of that 2/3.
Yeah, so you're not going to see people willingly, even though they're young, want to fornicate. So they'll see, well, I better not fornicate because that's what happened to them other people down there.
Just say during that time, we will be teaching them, right?
We'll be teaching?
In that
Yeah, you'll be teaching.
So we'll be teaching. So in them circumstances, we're teaching them, hey, like you said, the law, the morality law. So they kind of go along with what Elder said. It's preparing them to be good husbands and good wives and cleaning them out of that mess that they learned over here.
Right.
Sleep around with each other.
Right.
Well, Elder, I think this is going to happen in the land, but will it happen, same scenario, maybe hear a voice say don't go to the left, to the right, straight is the way. Like it said in Isaiah, you'll hear a voice. Maybe that be the same thing out in the wilderness, warning people.
Again, you're going to have angels out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And what they'll be doing is showing you what the law says.
You know what? Like I said, the overriding thing, if they see a lot of stuff happening to people out there, they'll refrain from doing it.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah. See all the people, and you see what they were doing before they died.
Right.
See, I don't want to do that now.
Yeah.
Where does it stay in the book where the 12 tribes came together, but they was in their own, they had their own banner, so everybody could recognize who's who?
I've always asked that question. How do you tell a Benjamite from someone from Asher? Right? Because they all come from the same family. So they're going to have all physical similarities. So how do you know the difference between them? Now, out there in the wilderness, they had those banners. They know who tribe belonged to who, right? And they did divide the land up to the different tribes, right? So if you came from the land of Benjamin, they knew you were Benjamin, and so forth with the rest of the land. But physically, how could they tell that that's a Benjamin?
When they left, Andy?
That was the characteristic.
Yeah, but I'm talking about somebody walking down the street. I mean, they left-handed when it comes to warfare.
Well, Elder, now I look at it too. Some of those people, I look at them brothers from Jamaica, they don't look like us.
No.
They got different features. You can look at them brothers right off. They claim they Levi, but you can look at them of tribe of Levi. Their features is, look at Uriah used to go get. He can favor us.
Nah.
But it's something about him. You can tell he was one of us, but looking at him, he kind of looked like Ham. If you just didn't look at him, if you looked at him, you didn't look at him directly,
Mm-hmm.
he looked like a Hamite.
Yeah, one of the Haitians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
You know, like during slavery, they bred us and mixed bred us and mixed bred us. Should we, like how we gonna get that separation? Because, you know, they bred us, separated us, and bred us, and bred us, and bred us, and bred us, like, you know, mixed bred us, and then we like, so it's like, how do you separate? How can we separate, like, you know, like,
How do you know what tribe you come
right,
from?
We're gonna have Benjamin, Levi, and Judah all in one body. I mean, because we were so mixed bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, again, you're gonna find out what tribe you're from out there in that wilderness. Yeah. Somehow the angel's gonna let you know. They're gonna divide you up. That all y'all the tribe of Judah. The rest of y'all tribe of Benjamin and Levi.
But you
So
still,
you got more of this and more of that.
Yeah. When you see more Judah, yeah, that's Judah. Judah always outnumbered the rest of the tribes.
weren't you in book of Micah, one of those books that I'm gonna cleanse that blood that I have not cleansed? One of those books, and you kind of say all that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Was it Amos? One of those small books.
Yeah, I know. It might have been Micah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what do you think that means?
Hmm?
What do you think that means?
Well, I'm looking at our people living in Creoles, mulattoes, still Israel, and then like he just said, well they sold us off to other plantations, right? Different tribes, so we don't know. Brother could have been dealing with his sister.
Right,
All we know, he didn't know.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So that's what I'm alluding at too.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a lot of race mentioned,
No.
but might have been some intermixing among ourselves,
Among our people, yeah.
and we didn't know no better.
Right.
Right, so we might have married our sister, our cousin, or somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but Yahweh allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
It's the end result that is most important.
Okay.
Right, so even though you married your cousin and y'all didn't have no two-headed babies, then you
But Elder, the way Yahweh look at it, we don't count cousins.
you're not what now?
We don't count cousins.
Yeah, I know, but
So-
it's still we gotta go by the law that says you should not uncover the nakedness of your father's daughter or your uncle's nakedness.
That was just his wife, right? Not his daughter.
Now we can marry our cousins.
Yeah.
We can marry our cousins. All right, but don't do it here in America.
No.
You
Yeah.
know, like I said, when I was going to get my marriage certificate, you know, in Georgia, people come here because cousins were married.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. People come here because cousins married, foreigners and everything. Come here because cousins were
To
married.
come here to America.
To Georgia.
Who?
Georgia.
Georgia?
Yeah.
To marry a cousin?
I didn't know.
I ain't heard about that.
I was going to get my marriage certificate.
Now these are black people, right?
Anybody, foreigners and everybody, white folks, foreigners, you can get a
Because
couple
the
of
law, I think that there's a law, I think in Alabama too, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
Georgia, Alabama.
So you can marry your sister or your cousin?
Big cousin. And then
Well, is there a law against marrying your cousin? That's just some advice, not to marry your cousin. I don't think it's a law against marrying a cousin.
Not in Georgia, not.
Right.
Well, Jerry Lewis did that, right?
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis married his cousin back in the 60s. You remember they raising hell about that? They got
Yeah,
all
but
on-
that's because she was so young.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think she's about 13 years old.
Oh, she was 13?
Younger.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, man.
Hey, up in the Ezekiel 20, when they going up under that rod, we talk about saying going under the rod. Is that just a count, or is that?
You talking about in Ezekiel 20?
Yes, sir.
Let's see what the exact wording of that is. in verse 37, it says, "And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and will bring you into the bond of the covenant." Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, sir.
Well, when it says you're going to pass under the rod, you're going to be numbered.
Yeah, you'll be numbered. So would that be like an identification, or is that just?
That's a form of identification, but you got, just like our fathers had to number themselves, but they knew what tribe they were from. So in order for us to be numbered, at some point we got to know what tribe we're from. So maybe at the numbering of the children of Israel, the house of Judah out there in the wilderness, they can say, number 52, you with Judah. Number 65, you with Benjamin. Right? So it can go that way. So they number you and they tell you where to go.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So this, only the 1/3 is being numbered.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because he said, "And I will purge out among you the rebels and them that transgress against me." So in the previous verse, it says, "And I will bring you into the bond of the covenant." What covenant is it referring to? The first covenant, the Ten Commandments. Right? So what it said is, it's still in effect. And you've been chosen to keep these commandments. Right? And then when it says bond, that means something that comes together. You're going to be bonded to the covenant, bonded to each other. Yeah. And the covenant bonds us together. Right. A little time slipped away from us, so I haven't got time to go over this next chapter. So what we'll do is, I tell you what, let's do it anyway. Go ahead, Brother Seven, chapter 54.
Isaiah chapter 54, verse 9. "Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thine habitations. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. But thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited.
Mm-hmm.
Fear not, but thou shalt not be ashamed. Neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame. For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood any more. For thy Maker is thine husband. Yahweh of hosts is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The Elohim of the whole earth shall he be called.
So we're still married. Regardless how long we've been away from our husband, he considers us still married. Go ahead, Brother Seth.
In verse 3 of it says, Gentiles. What's that supposed to represent? You know what I'm saying?
In verse 3,
Yes.
it says, "For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited." Well, when you inherit something, that means it's been passed to you to own.
Okay.
That's yours. You own them.
That's part of the recognition of
Reparations?
yeah, that's
No. Look. Let's not be concerned about reparations.
okay. No, I'm
So
not.
the thing about that is, all the earth is going to be put to tribute under us. So that reparation ain't going to be but a drop in the bucket compared to what they're going to be bringing to us, that gold and the silver.
Yeah, right.
And when it says we shall inherit the Gentiles, we got that in Isaiah 61. No, yeah, 61. Well, they're going to be vine dressers, and they're going to help us rebuild our country. We got that in 61, so we will inherit them. Just like when a slave is inherited by the children of the slave master, the same thing.
We don't own Gentiles, basically.
These are going to be Gentiles.
Yeah.
Then they do it to us.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to do it to them.
That's what that actually represents. The ownership of Gentiles.
Well, look at the Gentiles come in different forms.
Exactly.
You go from the Nordic Gentile to the pale skin, and then you got the Asian Indian Gentiles. They're black as us. So they got the whole color scheme as far as Gentile go. We are people up to ourselves, and so if you're not Ham, if you're not Shem, then you're a Gentile, right? So all the Europeans will be Gentile nations, right? And I mentioned this yesterday in Australia, everywhere where white people go, but again, white people ain't the only Gentiles. The Indians here in America are Gentiles.
That's correct.
Yeah. What are you gonna say, man?
No, well, the white man wrote this book, and he said he's gonna be our slave. See how stupid that is? He wrote the book, but he said he's gonna serve us.
Hey.
That's what Jake believed. White man wrote the book.
Well, again, could they help themselves? Because they took it. It's not even talking about them.
Yeah.
But it's talking about what is going to happen to them. But at the time that they translated, they didn't see it happening.
Right.
But now it's going to happen, and they were part and parcel in translating this book to let them know that they're going into servitude to another people.
You think they understood that when they was translating this?
Mm-hmm.
The person that translated that part, like, man, you gonna be slave to somebody.
We got white Bible scholars. They still won't go here.
But they know it's there though.
They know it's there. They translated. They had competitions in translating the book. That's why you got so many editions of the Bible. Some of them, you got the New King James Version, you got the Red King James Version, you got the Gideon Bible. You got all these different types of Bibles because they love our story so much, right? But they never considered that it's talking about them going into servitude.
But they know they Gentiles though, right?
They know they're Gentiles. They accept that. As a matter of fact, back in the 30s and 40s, there was something about the Gentiles that wouldn't allow people to come in town at a certain time of day. The Gentiles know that they're Gentiles, in other words. So it got to a point where black people started calling themselves Gentiles a few years ago.
I don't believe they think they're Gentiles. They
They don't know.
But maybe you think they thought they didn't know they were gonna be enslaved to us. They thought they were gonna be enslaved to the fake Jews.
They ain't know about them, because they didn't have no land at the time this thing was translated. So they know that they weren't talking about them. So they didn't really take this seriously.
No.
That they were going to be in servitude to somebody. No, because white people have never been in servitude to anybody except themselves. But as people of another culture, another race, they've never been in subject to another race. It's going to be a shock to them. And the people that they had slaves rule over them.
Yeah, I know we was in the break room one time. I was at work. Jake was in there. I'm a Gentile. They talking about a Gentile. And they left out. That white boy come over to me and said, he's about 70 years old. He said, do they believe that? He said, I'm a Gentile. Not them.
Yeah, well, Jake need to stay away from the Bible too. Go and finish it up, Justin.
Isaiah chapter 54, verse 6. For Yahweh have called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, when you were refused, saith thy Elohim. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith Yahweh thy Redeemer. But this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. But the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee, neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith Yahweh that have mercy on thee.
Mm-hmm.
O thou afflicted, tossed with tempest and not comforted. Behold, I will lay thy stones with fair colors, and lay thy foundation with sapphires. And I will make thy windows of agates, and thy gates of carbuncles, and all thy borders of pleasant stones.
Mm-hmm.
And all thy children shall be taught of Yahweh, and great shall be the peace of thy children.
Mm-hmm.
In righteousness shalt thou be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear. And from terror, for it shall not come near thee.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, I have created the smith that blow up the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
Mm-hmm.
And I have created the waster to destroy. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh.
That means you're going to be the boss.
Right.
You'll be rebuking people. Right? I'm going to stop here, open up for... No. Open up for questions. Anyone have any questions? All right. Let's see. Let's see what chat's on chat.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Coming out of Hebrews.
Okay.
Trying to see, does that also fit us today in Hebrews? Hebrews 11 and 15.
15?
11 and 15.
Hebrews 11 and 15?
Yeah.
It says, and truly if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. Now, what's the question about?
Does that also deal with our people today? Because our people they consider the only thing to come from America. They never considered they had another land or anything.
And you think they'll want to stay here? Is that what it is?
Because they have no clue that they have a land.
And they will be going off to a place they've never been before. And they don't know anything about the land of Israel. Nobody ever told them. So they're going to be resisting at first. But when they look back over their shoulder, they see America's totally destroyed. Where else you going to go? Now they know they can't make the mistake of trying to mingle in with them Africans. Because them Africans ain't going to have them. So they ain't going to have no choice but to follow us. Right. What?
Our people, some of our people still think they're African. They think they come around.
Well, let them convince the Africans and see what they say. And then they'll have a change of heart then. Because the Africans, really, even though slavery been around a long time, most of the Africans have never been in bondage, especially on the white people. So we've been in the bondage on the white people for so long. All we know is their ways. And the Africans have their ways, and they don't like us. So, them brothers that say that the African, that think that they can move to Africa and get them a house, you better think twice, because them ain't your people, and they don't like you. They're going to find out the hard way. All this time they've been thinking they're Africans. And then the African let them know, no, you ain't no African, buddy. You better change your heart. Yeah, we'll kill you. Yeah. They're going to change. The Africa going to make them change.
Well, you got those that come over for scholarships or to go to college and stuff to learn trade or doctrine and stuff, right? And they tell them, definitely do not fool with us. Number two, they tell them, and you're what they call it? Well, anyway, you're white, and we're gonna give you this name. You can't go into America without this name. I can't even get the name out now. You're white folks, what you call them? Europeans. They said to the Africans that's coming over here that they're Europeans. And this is the name you have to go to America with.
Who
That's
that?
why you got so many Africans that come over here can't stand this because they talk against it before they even get here.
They're trying to distance themselves from us?
No, the Europeans are the ones that's telling them this.
Yeah, well, we kind of prove that they right. The Africans ain't blind, man. They said, damn, the white folks said that about y'all. Yeah. So, don't nobody want to be around us, man.
Nobody.
Yeah, so, we just have to accept that. Yeah.
It's like I was on the bus one day and I'm passing the lid out and I'm talking a little loud so everybody was like quiet and they were listening.
Mm-hmm.
And this one African was sitting like in the back and here I go passing my lid out, telling them about themselves, where they come from, you know, who you are and stuff. So the African stuck his hand out. I said, can I get one of those? I said, your daddy that sent us over here. Hell no, you can't.
Yeah. Well, let's see what's on chat. I got Isha 7 on YouTube. Okay. All right. Shalom Esher Yasharala. Shalom Greg Rucker. Shalom Kimberly Israel. Shalom Brother Yaakov Ben Israel. Shalom Sister Susie Garman. Shalom Brother Clarence Marks and Sister Yolita. Shalom Brother Malachi.
You at the very top.
Hmm?
You at the very top.
The very top, I had, I didn't have that. I didn't have that at first. I got Abraham in Israel.
Yeah.
He didn't show up at first. Shalom Elder Alahayim and Mother Malaka. Shalom Morning Crisp. I miss these people. Shalom Elder Tobiah. Shalom Julius Brown. Shalom Yahweh Song. Now I see I started here. Isha 777. Shalom Esher Yasharala. Shalom Gregor Rucker. Shalom Kimberly Israel. Shalom Brother Yaakov Israel. Ben Israel. Shalom Susie Garman. Shalom Clarence Marks, Brother Clarence Marks and Sister Yulita. Shalom Brother Malachi. Shalom Elder Hiram. Let's see here. I am doing much better today. I'd like to thank Shalaya, and all the women who waited on me before Emory Decatur got to me. Y'all did good. Thanks. You get that? Is he sick? He gone? Talking about him. Personal note to him. He ain't in here.
Who, me?
Shalaya. Let's see. He looked like he could eat watermelon. Shalom, Brother Mick Anderson. Shalom, Lonely Red Wolf. Just grit your teeth, man. Ball your fist up, man. You'll be all right.
Oh, you heard me?
Shalom, Brother Otis. Shalom, Repentant Judah. Shalom, Elder Mick. Shalom, Deacon Hanak. Shalom, Kevin Birch. Shalom, Ahaya Yehuda. Ben Israel. Shalom, Brother Benaiah. Shalom, Brother Adawan Ben Yasharala. Shalom, Melinda Curry. Shalom, Shamayan Israel. Shalom, Brother Benaiah. So with the Mashiach, basically his outer is a part of the formula to make people focus on his inner without a lot of distractions from his outer appearances. Nothing flashy about him, also known as a regular looking dude. I'll go with that. He was homeless too though now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
To be homeless and ugly, he sure had a lot of women following him though.
Yeah, well, he stayed with Martha and Mary and Lazarus, right? He was kind of moving around, staying in other people's, just going out into the mountains to stay by himself. Yeah. So he was a homeless man. But what better man to choose than a homeless man? Because he's not good looking. You don't want to hang around him. So that's what Yahweh disguised the beauty of the Holy Spirit, or the beauty of Elohim himself. That he put it in a body that don't nobody desire. So they don't come at him any kind of way. They look at it and say, yeah, he ain't pulling no women today. So like that, yeah, you don't mind hanging around him because you're not judging by his looks, right? Shalom. You right about that, Brother Benaiah. Shalom. Brother Benaiah, Hosea, Judah. Shalom, Jimmy O'More. Shalom, Rhodesia Williams. Shalom, elder priest and sister family, sending love, hugs from Mississippi. Let the joy and glory of Yahweh rise among us. Well, there you go. Rhodesia Williams.
That's like when it comes to get baptized?
I don't know.
You said the 28th, right, Elder?
28th of next month.
That's on the 3rd. I looked it up.
Huh?
It's on the 3rd day.
Third day. The 28th?
28th, July 28th is on the 3rd day.
Then it's supposed to be on a Shabbat. What day is the Shabbat on?
27th is that. 25th. It will be that Shabbat. 26th.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
the 25th is the Shabbat?
The 25th is the Shabbat.
Oh, well, I might, Brother Ahaya, you might want to indicate exactly, because I might have gotten your date wrong for the baptism. So hit me back up and make sure I got it right, because I'm thinking it's the 28th, but that's on a Tuesday. So we're trying to make it so that you stay that weekend, because you talk about staying that weekend, so it's got to be.
Right, because more than likely, that family fun day would be on the 26th.
Yeah.
Because we always have it every year.
Okay. Well, just to confirm it, Brother Ahaya, just you can type it in here. Send me a text on my phone. Any way you want to get, let me know. Shalom, Brother Yosef. Hold on a second. I just missed Brother Hannah. When Yahweh said that it pleased him to bruise Yahshua, was that because he was the perfect sacrifice to take away the sin of his people? No, it didn't. He was a sacrifice anyway, but when you sacrifice a sheep or a lamb, he doesn't show any pain. He just stands there and take it. But in this, Mashiach showed pain and agony, which is apparently part of the suffering that he had to do, because he had to suffer according to the law. Right? So whatever judgment according to the law was that required pain and suffering, that's what he took. But he was doing it for his people. When Yahweh said that it pleased him to bruise Yeshua, was that because he was the perfect sacrifice to take away the sins of the people? Yeah, that too. But he had to suffer because of the sins of other people. And that part of that suffering had to do with punishment and with death. Shalom, Brother Yosef. Shalom, Sister Tiffany. Shalom, Brother Kimuel. Shalom, Ezra ben Israel. Shalom, Israel. I know Lincoln freed the slave, but there are several writings where he stated if he could save the Union without abolishing slavery, he would. Also, he believed that whites were superior. I know. Mm-hmm. But what was the end result? That's the thing you have to look at. It doesn't matter what reason he did it. The end result was he freed Yahweh's people. Now, he didn't know he was doing Yahweh's will. And just like you said, I read that too, that he thought that white was superior to Negroes. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but that didn't stop us from being free, right? Even though we were free, we didn't want to walk in the park either. We didn't have to go through all that hatred that they had for us. But the main thing is that we were free, right? We weren't forced into slavery. And besides that, from what they tell me, the first slaveholder was a black man.
I mean, technically, they were superior to it. They had education, they had jobs, and everything. They was the new slave. Spiritually a slave, but technically, they say black folks are racist. There's no way you can technically you can be bigger. How you can feel our race is superior to your race and all this at the bottom. It's just impossible.
Well, when you look at Abraham Lincoln, we had that article. Abraham Lincoln said he said that these people here, we call us a bunch of heathen. And he said he wanted to send us back. He said, we need to send these people back, lest the worst thing come upon us like it did in Egypt. But then, like you said, he couldn't do that because we had to be here 400 years.
Right.
So when he got elected president, he kind of got away from it. But he said, I do remember, he said, well, since they here with us, we got to make them good Negroes. In other words, make them Christians.
Yeah.
That was in the article that I read.
Yeah. Well, it's always been some kind of plan for us.
Yeah.
So we won't be as abhorrent to white people as they look at us. Yeah, Brother Ezra, I've read those same things. But nevertheless, again, the outcome is what's the most important. Yahweh didn't leave him any choice. Even though he didn't want to do it, he did it anyway.
Yeah.
So because it was Yahweh's will that he did it. Right. And like I say, after the Emancipation Proclamation was written, was issued in 1863, 100 years later, America is the most powerful country on earth.
They said Abraham Lincoln was black.
Yeah, I've read some of that too, man. It's not that he was black. He wasn't white. He was some type of indigenous people that it wasn't just him. It was some more people just like him. But he wasn't white.
Odd looking Gentile. Odd.
Yeah.
Something about him didn't look right.
Yeah. I don't think he wanted to abolish slavery, but did so because, like Pharaoh, Yahweh put it in his heart to release our people. That's correct. Shalom Bungaden. Shalom Sean Berry. Shalom Brother Alahayim Ben Yasharala. Shalom Brother Mikael. Shalom Elder Priest. Amos 8 and 9 and 10. Is this the day of Yah, of darkness and feast? Turn to mourning, worldly songs of mirth into lamentation. Jake always ready for a party. My house will serve Yah. Let's look at that. It said that's in Amos 8, 9 and 10. Let's see. And it shall come to pass in that day, said the Adonai Elohim, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and will darken the earth in the clear day. And I will turn your feast into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon you, upon all loins, and baldness upon every soul. And I will make it as the mourning of an only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day. So he's prophesying about what he's going to do to the children of Israel. But as far as those extraterrestrial things that he's mentioned here, the celestial things he mentioned here, that hadn't happened yet. So the rest of these things hadn't happened yet. But we're still talking about the coming captivity of Judah in these particular verses because of because they worship other gods. But I like verse 11 and 12 too. It says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh Adonai Elohim, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. Now, is that now? Is anybody seeking for the word of Yahweh now? No. They're into their religion. And then they'll never admit that they're searching for the word of Yahweh. They'll never admit it. They'll never admit that they want to know what the Bible is saying. They rather figure it out themselves and be as wrong as two left feet, but they ain't gonna listen to nobody else. So yeah, it's in this day of darkness, of feast turn to mourning, worldly songs of mirth into lamentation. Jake always ready for a party in my house. Will serve Yah. Well, praise Yah, Brother Mikael. Shalom, Shalom, Mother Kia. Shalom, Elder Elazar. Shalom, Judy Bellamy. Shalom, Barak Yash. Shalom, Bun Gaden. I'm in Mississippi. Okay, praise Yah. Shalom, Judy Bellamy. Shalom, I'm in Shafter, California. I love you, my brother. Man, we get folks from everywhere. Shalom, Brother Yemiyahu. Family, blessed, holy Yahweh be magnified. I don't have anything after him.
That's it.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody that's come and that have been watching us, and thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the questions. Join us next Thursday, which is Tuesday, for our history class. And that's a great work. Will the devil be in the wilderness also? No. Well, what's interesting about that is that at the time that we come out of America, the devil is going to be kicked out of heaven, right? And he's going to be angry that he's been kicked out of heaven, according to Revelation 12. It coincides with us leaving America. So he's going to cause, like I said in Revelation 12, he's going to cause a tidal wave to try to knock those boats out the water. But the earth going to open up her mouth and swallow that tidal wave. So that's going to be happening when we leave America, that Satan will try to overturn those ships that are leaving America and try to kill us all, but the earth is going to help us. So yeah, the devil ain't never gonna be doing this thing with that 3.5 years.
They'll be out in the wilderness, huh?
Who, the devil?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
No.
They went blowing wig and I long out there.
See, I don't teach that here. Where does he get this from? See, they can't see your face, man.
Yeah, I do.
No, Brother Gregory Rucker, that the devil won't be in the wilderness. He'll be doing this thing, having people worship him, because they're going to be worshiping outright. When the kingdom is, when the one world order is set up. And you got to remember, he got a job to do too. He got to get into a man and cause people to believe that he's God. But that'll be the devil himself. He's going to be doing all those miracles, and that kingdom's going to last 3.5 years. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, Brother Mikael, that is a tsunami. But the reason for the tsunami is because America's going to fall all of a sudden. We're talking about a continent. That's never been heard. I mean, islands might have fallen, coast may have fallen, but a whole continent. We don't know how that's going to affect everything else on Earth, but it's going to be a tremendous fall to the point that it's going to shake the whole world when America falls. It's going to be done in one day, suddenly. But we got to be out of here by then. Right? So you got the Russian got to blow the bad boy up. They got to get out of here. So there's a lot of things going to be going on that you try to synchronize each movement, trying to see when this is going to happen, when that's going to happen, all that. But all the prophecies got to come to pass, and part of them is that Yahweh going to fill us up with like caterpillars. That's done now. All right? And he said that the Russians are going to destroy America along with the rest of the kings over there. They got to do their thing from outside of America and from within America. So they got to do their thing. Once they do their thing, they got to get out. But before they come in, we got to be gone. And you look at all the boats that are got to be leaving, that's a lot of boats. And I'm pretty sure they're going to have a thing where when they pick up a group of people here in America, take them to the coast of Africa, and then come back and pick up another load of boats. Now you're looking at, from what I've read, that it takes 2 weeks to go from the east coast of America to the west coast of Africa. Whereas in the slave days, it took 2 to 3 months. So technology has improved, so we get that faster. So it's going to be going back and forth because just so many boats going to be leaving. And like I say, they still got them boats parked outside America's coast. So they still sending me stuff. I'm about to shut this thing down. Brother McKay said the volcano in Wyoming has to blow for the land to move. It will set off the ring of fire. Well, that's not quite what the prophecies say. The prophecies say Yahweh's going to destroy America like he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And how did he destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? He ran fire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah. So Yahweh said that's the same way America's going to fall. So it may even trigger a volcano eruption because they got one. That's the one in Wyoming. Is that the caldera that they have that they're talking about that's going to blow up any day now? They got volcano. They got a caldera in Wyoming. So they're looking forward for that one going off too. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right here, brothers and sisters. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for the information. Get with us on the third day, which is Tuesday night at 8 o'clock for our history class. And our sisters class is on the fifth day, which is Thursday at 8 o'clock. You can reach them on Zoom. And lastly, we will have our Sabbath service. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get out of this here. All right. Again, thank you, Facebook. Thank you, YouTube. Yahweh bless you and keep